In this video, I'll show you how to make your books to actually sell on Amazon KDP. So if you're wondering why your books aren't selling, then this video is for you. If you are new to the channel, my name is Sean. I built 2 successful Amazon KDP businesses, as well as I helped over 1,800 people in my coaching program to make money with KDP. So if you want no BS publishing advice from someone who is actually doing it, then make sure to subscribe. So this is a subscriber book review series that I do where I analyze and critique your books that you submitted to me. If you want me to review your books in future videos like this, then just follow me on Instagram at SeanDowit13, DM me your Amazon link, and maybe I will feature it in future videos like this. Please keep in mind that it's probably going to take months for me to get to your book because I have a lot lined up, but I'll eventually get there. All right, so the first book, The Mighty Mineral Heroes. Embrace your inner superhero through the power of nutrition. So this sounds like it is a book for kids to use the superhero theme to make them want to eat veggies and fruits and stuff like that, right? Which is a cool idea. It's from a university qualified nutritionist. So that's cool as well. The problem here is the execution of the title and the book cover. Number one is the book cover. It looks like you just have some AI images slapped together. That's not very matching with the other elements here, because it seems like you, once again, kind of got AI images generated, went to Canva, put it together, and then you added some text, right? I really do not recommend creating your book cover yourself if you want to make money. You know, if you're doing this as a passion project, if you just, you know, kind of doing it for fun, yeah, make your book cover on Canva, even if you have no, let's say, design, skills or experience, right? But if you're trying to do this so that you can make money, but also have your book impact a lot of people, which means you have to sell a lot of copies, right? So the byproduct of making a lot of money is impacting a lot of people, because those two things comes hand in hand. People have to buy your book to read it, right? So that, that's how it works. But if you want to do that, then you need a more professional book cover. I don't have a specific design in mind, but you need a way more kids-friendly image. These AI elements, I'm not sure, I'm not a kid, right? But I kind of don't think kids are into these hyper-realistic AI images. I feel like more cartoonish image would work better. And maybe they look like superheroes because they're wearing a costume, but they have a veggie on their hand, or they're actually eating it or something, or powering up eating, the fruit. So I feel like that kind of design would work better than what you got here. So if you need a book cover design or recommendation, I think this one would suit your topic well. So she does a kids book cover for $30, right, for the front cover design. So if you want back cover, it's a little bit more. But yeah, so something like this, right? More illustration, heavy, less AI, but kind of, describes superheroes into just like eating veggies and stuff like that, right? So check out some samples, see if you like any of these designs. You can reach out to her and kind of, show your vision, and then she can give you some suggestions on if she can do it or not. But like, imagine this, right? This is not really a superhero thing. Maybe this is a little too realistic. I think a little bit more cartoon would work better, but that's how I feel. The second thing is for the title, okay? The Mighty Mineral Heroes. Doesn't really make sense. If a kid reads that title, they're not gonna understand what it is. But more than that, it's the parent that's buying the book for the kids, right? So if the parents like scrolling through Amazon and they see this book cover and they read The Mighty Mineral Heroes, doesn't really make sense, okay? Like, they're not gonna understand what it is. But I understand that you wanna keep the title catchy and fun because, the kid is gonna wanna read it, right? So The Mighty Mineral Heroes, okay, let's keep it. So if that's the case, then you wanna keep the subtitle for the parents buying this book, and you wanna clearly explain what your book is going to do for your kids, right? So you have embrace your inner superhero through the power of nutrition, which is a little too vague for the parents to know why they should care. Or actually, you actually have it right here, okay? A fun learning journey to inspire healthy eating, okay? You should have put that in the subtitle and kind of, expand it a little more, saying like a fun book for kids to inspire healthy eating and understand the power of nutrition, or I'm not sure what it is. Hopefully you get the point of you really gotta be more clear on the value proposition of your book because you're speaking to the parents, right? So you gotta ask yourself, if I was a parent, or you might be a parent, right? If I was a customer scrolling through Amazon, would this sell me on the book? Embrace your inner superhero through the power of nutrition. Is that clear enough to sell me on the book? For me, I don't think so. Okay, so you have to be more clear. Our next book is Kids Love Kenya, children's book about Kenyan culture, creatures, and customs. So we have this book right here. The title is completely fine, to be honest. And this book is actually selling okay, 364,000 BSR. So it's nothing amazing, but it's like selling, here and there. So the biggest issue, 2 reviews, 3-star average. I haven't read the review, but I'm assuming it's because they're complaining about AI, right? Most likely. Let me check what they are saying. Actually, it's just rating. So yeah, this kind of looks like AI, isn't it? If it's not AI, then it's all right, but it's just messy. It's very, very messy, to be honest. There's a lot going on. But yeah, and the description looks kind of AI here with the emojis and whatnot. But the biggest reason, like even though the book cover may not be AI, I think the biggest improvement is obviously the 2 reviews, right? You have to make your review ratio better than 4.3 so that it shows 5 stars. Anything below 4.3 average ratio is going to show 4 stars or below, like in your case is 3 stars, and that's just not going to sell anyone, right? No one's going to buy it. So you have to get more reviews to mask the one bad review that you have. How do you do that? Well, a lot of people try to remove the 1-star review, right? Which is horrible because you can't remove bad reviews. All you can do is create a good product and try to get more reviews, right? So that's exactly what you want to do. There are many ways to get reviews. The easiest one is to use sites like Book Bounty. So I'll leave a link to this site in the description. You guys can check out the website. You can watch some of my videos. If you look up Sean Dowett Reviews, I have some videos talking about this and how it works. So you can check it out and then you can implement it and get a lot more reviews. And once you get your review ratio up, I feel like it's going to sell more. Okay, next book is Zena, an Amazing Girl, From Bossy to Bestie, the girl who learned about friendship. So I really like the book cover. Very clean, very professional illustration. A lot of space on the side, which I think you could have filled it up. Like you probably could have spaced out, the girls or added more elements to it. Like this is just an open field, right? But you could have added structures or maybe trees or I don't know what it is, but filled out the open space. Besides that though, your title, super good color contrast, right? White text is popping, it's big enough, easy to read. Illustration, once again, is clean, the colors are clean. I think design wise, you did a great job. For the title, you clearly explain the girl who learned about friendships, or you kind of explain what the book is about, which sounds like Zena, who was a boss or a queen, learned to be more friendly, or I don't know, it kind of talks about in the description, right? But, the girl who learned about friendship could have been longer, could be more descriptive, because at the moment it's a little short. And again, you could have added a lot more. So if I read the description right here, right, it says, perfect for girls aged 7 to 10, heartwarming story follows Zena and her 3 best friends as they navigate the ups and downs of friendship at Maplewood Elementary. This delightful tale teaches young readers the true meaning of teamwork, empathy, and the joy of sharing adventures with friends. And it's a magical journey, right? So if that's the case, you could have straight up put this in the subtitle. Basically, Zena, an Amazing Girl, a magical journey for girls aged 7 to 10 about the true meaning of teamwork, empathy, and the joy of sharing adventures with friends. I think that fits in the subtitle character limit, and I think that would have been a little more descriptive, little better subtitle. But besides that, yeah, so the book cover is good, title's okay, you got 26 reviews. I feel like you just gotta run ads or market it. You can do social media marketing, you can run Amazon ads, but I think this book is good enough to go move on to the marketing side of things because the listing is good. So yeah, check out my Amazon ad tutorial video if you want to. So look up Sean Dowett Amazon ads, or I'll leave a link to that video in the description. Go check it out and start running some ads and let us know how it worked. Next book, Unicorn Coloring Book for Girls. Your colorful journey into unicorn fantasy begins here. I'm going to be super quick with this book. Unicorn Coloring Book is an extremely competitive keyword, okay? And you literally came in 0 reviews and you're like, why is it not selling? Well, that's because you're in a competitive keyword. There's absolutely nothing wrong with going into a competitive niche or keyword if you make a better book, or if you get more reviews, or if you have something unique about it. But you have nothing, right? You have a very generic, very similar book to what's already out there, so there's nothing unique about this. You have 0 reviews, and you basically do not have anything better about this book. It's just a worse version of what's out there with no reviews, and of course that's not gonna sell because people have better options. Sometimes I wonder if I'm being too harsh when I'm doing these critiques. I'm just being super honest because I'm not trying to be nice. I'm not trying to be liked by you guys, right? I just want to make sure you guys make money and actually succeed with KDP. That's the main thing, not to be liked or anything, So I'm just saying what I feel. And hopefully you like that honesty here. So the next book is Speaking Frankly About Business Relationships, the 7 elements of successful business relationships. I'm like the target market, because I'm into business. entrepreneurship, this and that. And so when I read the title, I'm like, oh, I don't get it. Okay. Speaking frankly about business relationships, your thoughts on business relationships. And then in the subtitle, you literally just repeat the same thing you have in the title, which is elements of successful business relationships. You could have used different words to describe the book even more instead of repeating business relationships twice. What exactly am I going to learn here, right? So it says this book is an invaluable guide for business professionals who want to understand the expectations that most influence their business. I still don't get it. What does understand expectations that most influence their business? I don't get it. Like, what am I going to learn here? So it says you share your social and cognitive psychology expertise to present 7 essential elements of where business relationships deteriorate and how to prevent them from ending. So it's not even a business book. It's like a communication skills psychology book, specifically in the topic of business, right? Okay, so finally, in this section, I feel like you're getting to the point, okay? So it says you acquire practical tools for fostering healthy communication and establishing expectations that endure. Yeah, just the wording is off. Expectations that endure. That's a weird sentence. Expectations that last a lifetime or something, maybe that'll be a better copy, right? Building and maintaining successful business relationships and managing the essential expectations that affects their growth. So, after reading the description, which took me multiple minutes, I finally got to the main point of what this book is about, which is how to communicate better, psychology tips, relationship tips, communication tips on maintaining successful business relationships, right? And managing these expectations. That should be in the subtitle, okay? And even putting that in the subtitle is still way too vague. Okay, so like if I read that, I'm still gonna be like, all right, so I maintain successful business relationships. So what? How does that help me, right? You have to be like, maintain successful business relationships so you can lead your team better, avoid people quitting so often, right? Which means you make more money as a company. You don't have to keep hiring people or, preventing churn. Okay. Negotiate bigger deals with business partners or just speak my language. You got to speak my language. Those are the things that I'm interested in learning. And you're not doing that. You're not speaking those languages to me. So you're not giving me any reason for me to really care about this book, right? So that's the biggest thing, right? You're in business. You understand the importance of marketing, positioning your product. Copywriting is all about positioning your product so that people want to buy. I don't know what the definition of copywriting is, but it's basically making your product, as attractive as possible by writing in the way of what people want to hear, not what you want to say. Okay. It seems like you are just saying what you want to say, not saying what your customer wants to hear. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, so the second book is actually from the same person, Speaking Frankly About Customer Relationship Management. Why customer relationship management is still alive and vital to your company's customer strategy. There's so many the word customer popping up. Like you could have said why it's still alive and vital to your company's retention plan or whatever. But anyways, I think that's the biggest thing is you have to work on copywriting. You have to work on your title, really speak in terms of what your customers want, what are the biggest benefit that they get from reading your book, and then you will, put that in your subtitle so people get it instantly instead of having to read your description for minutes, right? Spending their time. All right, I guess the third book is also from the same person, Speaking Frankly About Conversation Intelligence, a strategic guide to conversation intelligence strategy and technology. Exact same problem. You're just repeating the same thing. You're not telling me why I should care. Like on a side note, I've been doing business for 10 years. I don't even know what conversation strategy even means, right? So anyways, the next book is Unbelievable Facts for Smart Kids age 8 to 12. 1,000 plus awesome, fun, and incredible facts about science, history, geography, culture, humor, and more. This part is cutting off because the subtitle is too long. Try not to do that. It makes you look a little bit more unprofessional. It's not the biggest thing in the world, right? There are books that are successful with that, but if you can choose not to do it, don't do it. To make your child laugh, think, and learn. So the title wise, besides that it's a little too long, the title is almost perfect, right? Because in terms of the structure of the title, you have Unbelievable Facts for Smart Kids age 8 to 12. Facts for smart kids is a keyword. People actually look for this. So there are search volume associated to it. You added some words to make it sound better. Plus, the subtitle clearly explains tells me what this book is about. Okay, the 9 reviews is okay, right? And then you have the book cover, which is okay as well. I don't know if this is your kid or your grandson. It's kind of interesting. There's a real picture of a kid. Usually people use like cartoon images and stuff like that, right? Like this is what I mean is people always use, you know, cartoons, illustrations like this. This is what's working right now in this niche. I've never seen an actual kid here, right? So that's interesting. But, you know, I think the cover is okay besides that element to it. It's not the greatest cover, but your book is not selling mainly because you probably never really market it, right? You got 9 reviews, good ratio. So you should probably get more reviews using sites like Book Bounty and other methods, right? And you should probably just run ads and see how it goes. That's what I recommend. So definitely do that. And that's the only recommendation. Your title is good. And I think that's a big first step that you took. Your review ratio is good, which means the content is good. Your book cover can probably improve. If you want to improve it and make it a little more like this, that might be better. If you need a book cover design or recommendation, you could use someone like Alina here for 35 bucks. She will create a book cover for you. She has really high return ratio of people coming back and also a lot of orders because, you know, she's really good, right? So that's why a lot of people come back. Like this is a pretty good cover. Like this is an example. It's all right, you know, so you still have to guide her on what you want, because if you don't know what kind of cover design you want, then she will still just make something subpar, right? So you still have to guide her, but this is a pretty good cover. Okay, so know what you want. What you want is something like this, okay? Illustration of Einstein, someone, you know, important, or a kid, brain exploding, a lot of things happening in the background. Basically what you have here, but with a little more color, right? Because this is a lot of yellow happening, a little more exploding, you know, a lot of different things might work, right? It's just a recommendation, but you can test it out. If you need help implementing any of these strategies that I showed you today, I do have a complete Amazon KDP coaching program. It's the first link in the description. You click on it, you can apply for a free 30-minute strategy call and see if this program is a good fit for you. The program itself is paid, but the strategy call is free. So if you decide not to move forward or anything, that's completely fine, right? It's a free call. It comes with not only a course, but also coaching. So you get one-on-one coaching calls, just like how I reviewed and critique, you know, the books that showed up on this video. You will do that with a coach that actually made over $10,000 in a month from their own KDP business. Every single one of our coaches did over 10K in a month with their own business. We don't just hire, you know, people that makes like $1,000 one time, or, you know, just literally published their first book and all of a sudden they're a coach now, like some other courses, right? So we actually hire people who have results, right? And I gotta pay them. It's expensive, right? But the course, I feel like, is pretty fairly priced based on considering those elements and stuff like that. So if a lot of students are, you know, doing really well. You can scroll down here, see all the testimonials, what's included in the program and whatnot. But yeah, you can book a free call and see if this is a good fit for you, as well as all the tools and resources that I recommend for your publishing business, also in the description. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.